of Leading the Charge. I'm 7 Sports Director Matt Beauvais here inside the Buffalo Bills training facility as we get ready for the final preseason game of the year for the Buffalo Bills. That is on Thursday, just across the street at the new Highmark Stadium. When do we stop calling it new? I guess is a real question. Is it still the new Highmark Stadium, or is it just Highmark Stadium? Regardless, it's across the street inside the stadium against the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a really tough week around the NFL because so many guys here in Buffalo and around the league are going to find out that they are getting cut. And the final preseason game is our last chance and their last chance to try and make a positive impression. You know who understands that feeling maybe better than anybody? Buffalo Bills defensive coordinator Jim Leonhard. Not only is he coaching some of these guys right now that are fighting for their roster or a roster spot, he was once one of those players, and he knows this week is really, really tough.
It's the hardest week in the NFL, right here. I've been on both sides, right? I've made rosters, I've been cut from rosters, and everyone understands what happens at the end of this week where there's a lot of seats, there's a lot of players that are in the building that there's not spots for. And it's tough when you're on a really good team, right? Team that knows how to win, that has depth, has some pretty defined roles in some areas. But as coaches and players, I think as long as you're professional about it and go about your business, it is one of those things. It doesn't get easier. Like I was through it a lot of times as a player and now some as a coach, and it's always difficult because there's guys that have earned the right to be here that just don't have a spot. And your goal as a coach is like, how many of these players make it on a roster, right? You want to get the best grouping and the best mix for your current team, right? But everyone else you're pulling like crazy for to just put something on tape that somebody's going to take a chance on.
So listen, there are a lot of different players who I think are fighting for a roster spot. You know who one of them is not, or I don't believe that's the case, is Buffalo Bills safety/nickel cornerback Jordan Hancock. He has been so unbelievably good these last couple weeks. He is a player who is continuing to flash and continuing to make plays. Well, we had a chance to hear from him earlier today, and this is a player I think you need to get to know a bit more.
I planted my seed last year, and it was just growing and growing every day with both positions being versatile, where they put me to be in a position where I have to play either position safety or nickel, trying to be the best at both spots for sure. My confidence is through the roof right now, but I'm still humble at the end of the day. My routine, how I go about things every day, it doesn't change or anything like that. When I go out there on the field, I think that I'm going to make a difference, whether that's defense or special teams. But it's really my routine that's making my confidence high.
Now, another player that we also heard from on Monday was Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin. And Damar Hamlin is a fascinating name because he has been here for a lot of time, and I also know everything that he went through. But when you say his name, Bills fans sometimes groan because they go, he is not good enough to be on this team. Why is he still on this team? Well, I'll tell you, it's because they believe he is still one of their best special teams contributors, and he is a reliable depth safety. This is not a foregone conclusion that he's going to make the team, but I think he is going to, and he's embracing the challenge ahead.
I think I've always had that approach because that's just how I was raised. Like the only opinions that ever mattered to me was my family's, my close group, knit of friends, and that's just how we roll. You can't really, you got to tune out the world in a way, and obviously we all live in this world, so we get a piece of it no matter who you are. You can't act like you don't see what's going on in the outside world at all, but just being able to, have that unit of people where, their opinions hold more weight than others, that it allows you to stay focused. It allows you to keep the right mindset, and it allows you to, not hear noise that you don't need to hear. I think that can get in the way of your progress in a way. If I was listening to what all the crazy things that people had to say about me over the last, 3-4 years, I don't think I would still be here. I think I would have been consumed by it. It's a lot more negativity than positive. But just being able to have that close-knit group of people, my family, my mom, my dad, you know, my good group of friends, my coaches, my teammates. You know, those are the opinions that have always mattered most to me over, you know, if I get on social media or if I, you know, listen to, you know, anything else outside of that. So, you know, ignore the noise. You know, you gotta block out a lot of, you know, what ain't for you.
Damar, how do you handle and approach this next week? You've obviously been through it. You said it's entering year 6, but roster cuts coming. How do you kind of handle all of that and the pressures that come with it?
Man, just keep doing what I've been doing. Stay prayed up. Just stay locked in. Obviously, this is the last week here, so you know, just try to cross all my T's, dot all my I's. You know, do everything that I need to do to continue to, you know, show whatever's left that I feel like, or that I feel like someone could want to see from, you know, my play style or what I put out there as my body of work so far. Obviously, and enjoy the rest of these moments with my teammates. Like, we've built some wonderful bonds. I've been able to watch some rookies grow. It kind of took me back to high school, just watching rookies grow from OTAs into, you know, how they're playing right now. So that's been a special moment for me. So just being able to continue to build on these bonds that have been built, because there's nothing like it. Like, there's nothing like the memories and the moments and the bonds that you build within the locker rooms during training camp. So continue to enjoy every moment that we have, whether it's practice, whether it's meetings, whether it's just chilling at lunch. You know, anything that there is to enjoy, just enjoying it and making everything just try to last a little bit longer.
Okay, so you know what another thing that I'm paying attention to this week is? What's going to happen with the punt return battle? I think it's between two guys, McCole Hardman and Ray Davis. Well, on Monday afternoon, I actually had a chance to chat with Ray Davis about the entire process, why he believes he's able to do this, and when was the last time he actually returned punts in a game. Here's what he had to say. How do you feel like you're doing so far? It's a different challenge for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's been fun, you know, just seeing that the guys trust me. You know, I've been able to earn the team's trust, Joe's trust, Bean's trust, just being put out there and fielding that ball. And it's a lot different from KOR. You got to make sure you seed the ball and feed it. But it's been fun, and again, we'll see how the season goes.
What is the biggest difference? Man,
I mean, for kickoff return with the new rule, they can't move until you field the ball. Punt, you got gunners coming down at you full speed. The ball, they got a good hang time. You just got to be able to see it, and it depends who you have, whether you got a righty or a lefty, right? The lefty, the ball's going to spin a different way and trail to the right. Sometimes with the righty, it could die down. You could continue to go. So just knowing the trajectory of the ball, knowing who you're playing, but also knowing the gunners and making sure that, you know, they give you enough space to return.
Before this opportunity, when was the last time you returned punts?
Probably high school.
Wow.
Yeah, high school. I did a little bit in college. We had some great returners throughout my tenure at all three schools, so I never had to step on the field. But in high school, I did field punts.
Well, let's give you a couple other observations that we had from the day on Monday and really from the last preseason game. Admittedly, I'm a bit concerned still about the second cornerback position for the Buffalo Bills. I really like Christian Benford. I think he's a very good player. After that, though, Max Hairston was banged up. He returned last week. On Monday, he struggled. We did not see him in the preseason game. That is not a lot of reps. Now, the rookie, Davison Igbinosun, hasn't been spectacular, but also has not stood out for anything positive or negative. I think he's just been like, okay, this is a guy who is competing for some playing time. And then there's Kenai Walker, who has been a pleasant surprise up to this point. I think he's kind of carved out the inside track to be the Bills' fourth cornerback on this roster, but that feels like it's a position that we need to be paying attention to, because I ultimately do not know what's going to happen. I think Max Hairston is going to win that job. I just don't know if he is going to be able to hold up and perform to the level where the Bills are going to need him to. Let's also talk about wide receiver, because the wide receiver room has been incredibly banged up. Keon Coleman has not practiced since the first preseason game, and we still have seen him walking around in a walking boot. I will say, though, on Monday, did see him in the weight room, and he did not have a boot on, so that's a good sign. On Monday, Skyler Bell returned for the first time. We've seen him. He has not played in a preseason game, so this game on Thursday is going to be a big opportunity for him. Josh Palmer, by the way, looks like he hurt his wrist on a play in team drills today after a defensive pass interference penalty from Max Hairston. He did come out for one more play and caught a touchdown, actually, so that was a good sign for Josh Palmer. And then Khalil Shakir is another guy that we haven't seen since that first preseason game. So it is a lot of injuries there. And DJ Moore got banged up in that first preseason game, although he has been participating in team drills. So I think that wide receiver room is one to watch, especially Skyler Bell.
A kid in the candy store. I've been out for a little minute. I haven't actually missed this much time ever in football, so it just felt good to be back out there with the guys.
Has it been a frustrating couple months? It seems like it's been a couple of different things that have kind of popped up, especially when you said, you've played so much football consistently without an injury.
Yeah, it for sure was frustrating, disappointing. A lot of just trying to stay mentally, locked in because, it's tough, watching everybody practice when you want to be out there. So I think just staying with the trainers, taking it day by day, and just them telling me, like, we're going to get you right, just stay with it, stay with the process.
Joe said that, maybe you could have played even, if it was a real game week. So how much of that was challenging knowing I can get out there, but it's maybe better I don't get out there right now?
Yeah, that was for sure a big thing, was just like making sure I'm ready, like fully ready. Because, with the injury that I had, you could feel right, and you can't predict what goes out there when you're going full bullets live playing. So I think just making sure that I'm fully confident to go out there and play fast and not even think about it, I think was big for me.
What were you dealing with most recently?
Great.
What about Thursday? What are you thinking about for this week and how you're feeling coming into it?
I'm excited, man. I felt good today. Hopefully, if the trainers let me roll, man, I'm gonna be ready to go.
Are you pretty much? Are you moving around a lot? Are you finding yourself more in the slot, more on the outside? Have you been doing a little bit of everything?
Yeah, I play everywhere. FXZ, they throw me at H a little bit. So I think just find where I can. Whatever they need me, I just try to go out there and make plays.
When you're first coming in and trying to develop chemistry with Josh, how has that gone? When you're banged up, how do you deal with that?
It was tough, but I just try to stay locked in and stay engaged. When the ones are going and maybe they're not going, I'm just asking questions. Trying to get mental reps, just trying to stay locked in as much as I can, because when we go down in a few weeks to Houston, it's just real.
Okay, so there is a preseason game coming up, and there are a lot of players that really have a lot on the line. There's also some guys we probably should talk about more. So coming up in just a few minutes, I will be joined by our friend of the show, Mike Catalana from 13 Wham and Buffalo Plus, the YouTube channel. We'll talk about the team. We'll talk about some players that have a lot on the line. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Leading the charge, we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Matt Bove, Mike Catalana. What are we going with? Captain Buffalo Plus, leader Buffalo Plus. What do you want to go?
No, it is. I'm 1/3 of Buffalo Plus. I have Dan.
That's nonsense.
I have Jenna. We are together. We are the Buffalo Plus team. And now we added Micah Hyde.
Yeah.
He's the captain.
Yeah.
He wears the C. And then the three of us are just, the guys who run the ship.
Now you're competing for the second most handsome person on Buffalo Plus. Mike Catalana, also the sports director at the ABC in Rochester. We talk Bills all the time together. Let me ask you, through two preseason games, what's your biggest takeaway for this team?
Look, I think they have a good roster. I'm seeing some players that I like.
Yeah.
I don't think any of it has changed my mind about this team in general. I say that because DJ Moore looked really good in the first game.
Yep.
Well, we've seen it in practice every day. Mm-hmm. That's the way the guys look. So it didn't change my mind. I think the offense is going to be really good. I'm concerned about the defense. Like in the preseason game, we're not seeing the guys that are going to play the bulk of the snaps. So I'm happy with the way the guys played that were out there, but I'm more concerned about how it's going to look when we get to Houston. These injuries have kept players off the field, and I think that has me going, okay, what are we going to see out there from this defense? They're going to score points. Can they stop people, especially with the tough schedule early in the year?
So it's not even really a Jim Leonard thing. It's just because the injuries have been so frequent that these guys might not have chemistry.
Absolutely. Like, I even asked him today, you want to be aggressive, right?
Yeah.
It's great to be aggressive. You can be aggressive when you're covered up on the back end.
Sure.
If you're not fully confident, and I say that, Max was hurt. C.J. Gardner-Johnson has been hurt. And then you have a couple of rookies at corner, hopeful about, Jordan Hancock and D. Alford, a new guy coming in. You know how good Christian Benford is. But, man, if you got one spot in that secondary and you're a little concerned, you can cover up for it a little bit. There's a lot of guys we just don't know how they're going to play, and the NFL doesn't wait for you to get it right.
Who has the most on the line this week?
That's an interesting question.
It's a good question. It's a good question, I know.
It is a good question. The most on the line, I think maybe Dwayne Carter.
That's a good answer.
And I think they were, Jim's been pretty positive about his players. It's that time of the year. You want to see them perform at their best. But this is when we find out what they really think.
Yeah.
Because at a certain point, it's all about, hey, this guy's looked better, and this guy's improved his physical ability, and this guy's really studied hard. But now we're past that point. Now it's like, who is going to help us against the Houston Texans and down the line? And I don't know how they feel about Dwayne Carter. They'll tell us by what they do with the roster. I know he was a third-round pick. I know he was hurt last year. I know he's working hard. But at some point, you got to show it on the field.
Let me ask you, who do you think's the biggest pleasant surprise up to this point? Because there's a couple names that I think come to mind, but I don't know if they're just coming to mind with like a recency bias because we talked to a couple of them today. But if I asked you, who's been the biggest pleasant surprise, who would you say?
Well, I think D. Alford, I really like him, and I like what he can bring to this team. I know he's going to play in the slot. I know he can play on the outside. He told us that today. It's funny about Jordan Hancock, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because the Bills, drafted a corner, and Hancock seemed like they wanted him in the slot, but you had Taron Johnson last year, and then he played at safety, but maybe he wasn't ready and maybe he wasn't healthy. I think the guy has played like a guy you want on the field. So I would say defensively, he's the guy that I'm like, I didn't know he'd be looking like a guy you're going to have to try to keep off the field. You're going to find a way to get him out there.
Do you have a lean on the Dorian Williams and Caleb Elarms-Orr competition? Because I think that might be the only one that isn't decided.
Yeah, I think Dorian Williams should be the starter. And I think Caleb Elarms-Orr has looked good. In the 2 preseason games, maybe not as good as he's looked in practice to us. And I think that's kind of understandable. It is still different going out there in the field against another team full on. He's made a couple of mistakes. I think the easy solution early is Dorian is the starter, but I think they're both going to play. So I don't know when I say it doesn't matter, I think if he goes out there and plays and performs, he'll get more snaps. But it feels like they're going to go with Bernard and Dorian and Elarms-Orr absolutely getting snaps on the defense.
There's been some injuries at wide receiver. We mentioned DJ Moore. We saw him in team drills on Monday. We also saw Skyler Bell. You feel good about the offense just in general? You think they pick up where they were?
Yeah. I mean, look, Josh Allen looks like Josh Allen. We'll see how the offensive line plays out. I mean, obviously, when you're talking about left guard, and you got experienced guys there, however that plays out. But the wide receiver group should be better than last year just because the top is better. And then Dalton Kincaid is healthy. All the tight ends look good. Like, there are weapons there. James Cook is James Cook. There's no reason for the offense to take a step back. And I just think you gave now Joe Brady a number 1 weapon at wide receiver. There's no question the passing game should be better than it's been.
Let me ask you, you read the comments on the Buffalo Plus videos on YouTube?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. So I read the comments on our podcast, the It's Always Game Day in Buffalo podcast. I probably read them more than I should. You did an episode with me a week ago. Glowing reviews. They think we have great chemistry. Do you agree? Concur?
No, not at all.
I was going to say, it's like just talking to myself in a mirror when we have these conversations.
I got several decades on you.
No. You do.
Yes. I always tell people my first game covering the Bills was Thurman Thomas's first game. And I said that to Thurman the one day, and he's like, that means we're old.
What year?
1988.
4 years before I was born.
Yes.
That's okay.
By the way, they played the Vikings, won that game. It was my first time in the old Ralph, and I was like, this place is unreal. And now we get to go to the new unreal place.
And now it's a bunch of rubble.
Yeah.
That is Mike Catalana, everyone. Follow his work, listen to his work. Buffalo Plus, 13 Ram in Rochester. Thank you, Mike. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Lead in Charge, everyone. Matt Bove. My final thought tonight is a little bit different, but I do think that it is relevant. We have been here basically every single day this entire summer as the Bills have been working, and there is clearly a very relaxed vibe inside this building. That was on display earlier today. Christian Benford, his arc, personality-wise, is astounding because a couple of years ago, this was a guy who was all business all the time. Here he is today, unlacing the shoes of his teammate D. Alford and then trying to tie those laces together. He's really embracing this added personality. And then I want to show you this. This was in Cleveland the other day before the joint practice. Look at him firing up his guys. Benford is becoming such an important player, not just off the field, or excuse me, on the field, but off of it. He's a guy who I think could have a massive season. All right, everyone, thanks for watching another episode of Leading the Charge. I am Matt Beauvais for Jenna in the control room. Have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see you guys next